UFC 316 just ended 10 minutes ago. And as we always do on this channel, let me give you a punch-by-punch breakdown of what happened in every fight, starting from the early prelims to the main event. Let's roll right into it. First fight up in the early prelims, Markeel Maderos versus Mark Chowinski. This is Mark Chowinski's UFC debut, and I wanted to go with experience, so I chose Markeel Maderos. And Markeel Maderos did not disappoint. He did not disappoint. Basically, a showing of levels in that fight, in which he comes out the winner via unanimous decision. So we're 1-0 on the night after that one. Next up, Quillen Soulkilled, who we know, the guy that one-shot Anshul Jubilee, versus Yanal Ashmuz. I had Quillen winning this fight in the first round just because of the sheer reach advantage that he has against Yanal Ashmuz, but Yanal Ashmuz almost proved me wrong. The guy has a striking style similar to Ilia Topuria, especially in those later rounds. He likes to hunt people down and throw some overhands from hell as soon as he gets real close to you. And he did so against Quillen Soulkilled in the final round. And Quillen nearly got knocked flat out, but Quillen did survive. He's got a chin on him, and he's really tough. And Quillen won this fight via grappling, which I was surprised about. I thought Quillen would use his striking and the reach advantage to his advantage, but he did not. He instead grappled, and he grappled really well and out-grappled Yanal Ashmuz. So props to Quillen Soulkilled. He is somebody to keep an eye on. Next up, Jeka Sarahi, I think it is, against Jusang Yu, Korean fighter. Some might call him the protege to Korean Zombie, and he looks like it. Jusang Yu got the first round knockout. Absolutely clipped Jeka Sarahi with a clear cut. Oh, I think it was an overhand that it hit Jeka right on the button, right on the end of the chin, and had Jeka sleeping for, like, I don't know, 4 to 5 minutes. So Jusang Yu is the real deal. Just might be the new Korean Zombie, the reincarnation of Korean Zombie, if you will, and might be able to do what Korean Zombie was not able to do, which is win a title. So Jusang Yu is another guy to keep an eye out for. Next up, Ariana Silva versus Wang Kong. Last fight of the early prelims. Wang Kong came out and did not disappoint. Absolutely outstriking Ariana Silva, especially beating up De Silva's legs. And De Silva was beaten so bad with leg kicks that there were a couple times where she just had to give up on standing and pull guard. You know, not necessarily pull guard, but just fall and then have to, you know, hike her legs up to try and get Wang Kong into her guard. You know, that's the best she could do if she can't stand. But Wang Kong absolutely just was amazing. You know, really fast, really precise with her striking, as she always is. You know, she's an absolute striker a sniper when it comes to that striking aspect of MMA. And that's the end of the early prelims. Now we work our way into the main prelims. First fight up is Chaos Williams against Andreas Gustoson. You know, I had Gustoson winning this fight just because of the sheer nastiness of the way he fights. He's very aggressive, loves to pressure fighters, loves to pressure fight. And in this fight, he basically put on a clench work clinic. That's the best way I can describe it. Had Chaos Williams smushed against the fence and drowned him within every round. Andreas Gustoson is really, really strong when it comes to the clench and really, really aggressive. He's got that style that can drown a lot of fighters, and not cardio-wise, just sheer pressure-wise. Like, just on top of fighters, not giving them an inch of space against the cage. That's what Gustoson was doing. Apart from that, he is a bit sloppy when it comes to getting to the clench. He loves to step in, duck that head down, and spam overhands, which isn't going to get you a win against everybody, especially those who are really gifted counter strikers. You know, people who could snipe from off the back foot. You know, so I don't know where Andreas Gustoson goes from here, but he did really well against Chaos Williams. Next up, well-known UFC fighter Sergey Spivac fights Waldo Cortez Aosta. This was a good fight. You know, Sergey had moments. He was very aggressive opening the fight. The sad part for Sergey is that he kind of faded as the fight went on from there. And Waldo started to shine. You know, his head movement, his striking output, and his striking accuracy were all on full display throughout the entire rest of that fight. And yeah, you know, Waldo, Cortez, Aosta just kind of shines and gets better as the fight goes on. And those types of fighters are dangerous, especially in a 5-round or 3-round, or just a fight that goes the full amount of rounds, you know. Yeah. Next up, Azamat Nerzakanov against Brenson Rivero. Great fight, you know. I just had Nerzakanov winning this because of the sheer power he has. And he showed that even in this fight, absolutely landed a killer of a punch off the temple of Rivero that had Rivero wobbling all over the place. And then Azamat was able to finish it once he was able to get Rivero to the ground. So Azamat, despite being, you know, a really, like, he's a really big veteran in terms of, like, he's been fighting for a long time. So despite, you know, taking a bunch of wear and tear after fighting for such a long time, he still looks very, very great. So, you know, who knows what the cards hold for him, you know, further up the ranks at light heavyweight. I don't see him beating Poatan, and I don't see him beating Magomed Ankalaev, but I do see a case for him beating Jan Blachowicz and Yuri Prohaska, you know. Next up, final fight of the main prelims, Bruno Silva versus Joshua Van. A great fight, a very entertaining fight. Joshua Van was basically dropping Bruno Silva a lot in that fight. Joshua Van's power seems to have improved a lot, but maybe it's just the way he fights, you know, because Van is a brawler. He is a brawler. He's very powerful. He loves to trade in the pocket, and he'll chase after you if he needs to. And Bruno Silva was tough. He did get back up a number of times, but in that final round, it proved too much. Bruno Silva took on too much damage, and he had to submit. It's what it came down to. So yeah, props to Joshua Van. He is a true badass, and I look forward to seeing what he does at flyweight. All right, main event time. First fight up is Vicente Luque versus Kevin Holland. Both fighters are well known. I had Kevin Holland sniping Vicente in the first round, but Vicente did show improve with his striking and even had Kevin Holland on the back foot a couple of times with how powerful his striking was. But Kevin Holland was able to get Vicente to the ground and submit him, which I'm surprised about because Vicente's grappling is very good himself, very good itself. So I'm surprised that the taller fighter was able to really out-grapple the shorter fighter, especially a shorter fighter that's really good at grappling as well. But Kevin Holland is sneaky like that, man. He could really get some big wins up in there, and he was able to do so. He called out Colby Covington, and we'll get into what that means in another video, but it is very cool. And Kevin Holland is kind of winning me over, but I'm not going to go back on what I said about him. I still don't like the unambitious side of him, but it seems like he is building ambition, which is great for him. So I look forward to seeing him climb the ranks. You know, I do see him beating Colby Covington because anybody could beat Colby Covington. Colby Covington is just that sucky. But yeah, next up, Mario Batista versus Patchy Mix. I know everybody and their mother wanted Mario Batista to win, but it is what it is. Patchy Mix came out. Everybody and their mother wanted Mario Batista to lose. They wanted Mario Batista to lose. But, you know, it is what it is. Mario Batista came out. He was very tough. He was very energetic and very athletic. And Patchy Mix just underperformed. Very much, he underperformed. He came in there, was way too docile to start the fight, way too inactive. I guess he was trying to let the fight come to him or something. I don't know what it was, but he just looked absolutely awful. One of the worst debut performances I've seen in a while. So, yeah, it is what it is with Patchy Mix, you know? But Mario Batista is on the up and up, and I have a really big and bold statement I want to say about Mario Batista, and this is coming from somebody that doesn't like him. I want to see Mario Batista lose. I don't like the guy, but how he fights, looking at that objectively, I think he's the only guy at bantamweight that poses a good enough case to challenge Morav Dvalishvili. Not right now. Of course, Mario has a couple more fights to prove himself, but I think looking at his fighting style, I think he's got what it takes to give Morav Dvalishvili some problems. That's really what, yeah. Bold statement, hot take, but it's my take, you know? Next up, Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pyer. Joe Pyer has insane power, man. He has insane power. He really does. He dropped Kelvin a number of times in this fight. And credit to Kelvin for getting right back up and sporting a really strong chin, but it just never was Kelvin's fight, although Kelvin did do enough to arguably make the fight close near the end of the fight. But, you know, Joe Pfeiffer dropped him a couple of times, and I think that's all it takes for to give a fighter a huge bump in points in the judges' eyes. So, great on Joe Pfeiffer. I still think he has a lot of work to really pose a threat at middleweight. But, you know, he's got power, and power is a big thing you need if you really want to go far, you know, on the striker side of things. Co-main event, Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. Big fight. I had Juliana Pena outstriking Kayla, and I was wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Kayla Harrison even outstruck Juliana. You know, Juliana just came out flat. She was, you know, she underperformed. Was not as driven. Very docile, very slow, not wanting to throw as much. I think she threw way more punches against Raquel Pennington. She just really underperformed. I don't know what was wrong with her, but Kayla Harrison came out and did her thing and ended up getting a Kimura. You know, ended up submitting Juliana Pena via Kimura after getting Juliana to the ground, and then just smothering Juliana while on the ground. So credit to Kayla for absolutely dominating Pena there. And she's the champ now, and now she's going to fight Amanda Nunes. She has won the right to fight the greatest women's MMA fighter of all time in the UFC. So I think we have two women's super fights. That one between Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes, and another one between Zhang Wei Li and Shevchenko. So, you know, I'll talk more about that in another video, though. And last but not least, the main event, the one we were all waiting for, Morav Dvali versus Sean O'Malley. I thought Sean O'Malley would come in, learn from his mistakes in the first fight, use that teep kick, throw things after it, and end up finishing Merab in round 2. But boy, was I wrong. The same old Sean O'Malley came in to this fight, the same one from their first fight. He could change. He could you know, remove the dye, get rid of the fancy coat, get rid of the fancy car, get rid of the whole superstar outlook, and he'll still come in looking like the same Sugar Sean O'Malley. That's just who he is. It's just the way he fights. You know, he's not a big grappler. Merab is more of a grappler, and his pressure, his wrestling, his cardio, the culmination of all of that it's just proving again and again too much for Sugar Sean O'Malley. I think Sean O'Malley still has a bright future, especially if he moves weight classes. But even if he stays here, at least he got to touch gold. It's more of like a Leon Edwards situation where, you know, you got to touch gold, you got past, you know, like a well-rounded individual, but then some more grapplers came and moved you right out. You know, same thing happened with Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards got past Kamaru Usman, you know, a well-rounded guy. Sean O'Malley got past Aljamain Sterling, well-rounded guy. And then a grappler comes, kicks him out. You know, what's his name? Bilal Muhammad kicks Leon out, and Merab Dvalishvili kicks Sean out. You know, it's like the same sort of mirroring phenomenon, if you will, going on there. But yeah, that's the full breakdown for the entire card of UFC 316. I've been live for 8 hours. Thank you guys for joining, chilling out with me. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, that is what happened punch by punch for every single fight on the entire card of UFC 316. Overall, not a bad card. I think it's on the upper end of cards all time. Let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn the notifications on so you're notified about my next video. I love each and every one of you guys, and I'll see you all in the next vid. Glove knowledge.